Scent of the Cursed. The enchanted perfume enthusiast. Not just any perfume. She loved rare, unique, and even controversial fragrances. She had an entire shelf in her apartment dedicated to exotic bottles from around the world. One evening, while scrolling through an online auction, she stumbled upon an old, intricately designed perfume bottle labeled Essence de l'âme, French for essence of the soul. The description claimed it was a rare, discontinued scent from the early 1900s. The bottle was oddly cheap for something so vintage, but Mira, always drawn to the mysterious, bid on it without hesitation. The next day, the package arrived surprisingly fast. The perfume bottle was even more mesmerizing in person. Dark violet glass with golden engravings, a cap shaped like a screaming face. "Dramatic much?" Mira muttered, laughing as she examined it. Her best friend Ria dropped by that evening. "Mira, why do you keep buying these weird old perfumes? One day you're gonna spray yourself into a curse." Mira smirked. "If I do, at least I'll smell fabulous while being haunted." She uncapped the bottle and took a whiff. A strange mix of floral, musk, and something she couldn't quite place filled her nose. It was intoxicating but oddly unsettling. "Okay, that's weirdly good," she said, dabbing some onto her wrist. Ria gagged. "Ugh, no thanks. That smells like a funeral home mixed with roses." Mira frowned. "You're just uncultured." But as the night went on, Mira began feeling different. Not bad, just different. When she spoke, her voice felt softer, more alluring. When she moved, she felt almost weightless. The real shock came when she went to a nearby cafe the next morning. Men and women alike turned to look at her. Some even smiled, mesmerized. The barista, who usually barely acknowledged her, nervously handed her a free pastry. "What the hell?" Mira whispered to herself. That evening she tested it again. A few sprays before stepping out, and people seemed entranced by her. Even strangers. Even her grumpy old landlord complimented her. Ria was the only one unimpressed. "Mira, this is creepy. People aren't just drawn to perfume like this. Something's off." Mira ignored her. She was enjoying this new attention too much. That night she stood before her mirror, smiling at herself, loving the way the perfume made her feel. But as she turned to walk away, her reflection stayed still. And then it smiled back. Mira gasped, heart pounding. The reflection stepped forward on its own, tilting its head unnaturally. A whisper filled the room. "You smell divine. The fragrance of the dead." Mira stumbled back, eyes locked on her reflection. Her breath came in sharp gasps, but the mirror version of herself just stood there, smiling, tilting its head in slow, eerie movements. Then, as if nothing had happened, the reflection snapped back to normal. Mira stood there, her own terrified expression staring back at her. She grabbed a towel and furiously wiped the perfume off her wrists. Okay, maybe Ria was right. This is seriously messed up. The next morning, she called Ria over. "I'm done with this perfume. Help me get rid of it." Ria picked up the bottle, inspecting the screaming face cap. "Damn, even the bottle is extra. Where did you even find this thing?" "Some auction site," Mira said. "I should have checked if it came with a haunted by demons warning." Ria smirked. "Yeah, like, warning. May cause possession, ghostly encounters, and excessive attention from creepy strangers. But seriously, let's figure out what this thing actually is." After some digging, they found an old article buried deep in French archives. It detailed a perfumer named Lucien Moreau, a 19th-century fragrance maker, infamous for his obsession with capturing the essence of the human soul. According to legend, Moreau believed a person's soul had a scent, and the purest form of it could be distilled into a perfume. But how? By extracting the fragrance from the dead. Mira's stomach twisted as she read. This guy used actual corpses to make perfume? "Not just any corpses," Ria muttered, scrolling further. "It says here he only used people who died tragically, murder victims, suicides, people with unresolved deaths. He thought their souls would be stronger that way." Mira shivered. "Okay, so I'm wearing a perfume made from dead people?" Ria grimaced. "Basically, yeah." "Great, amazing, love that for me." Mira sighed. "How do we get rid of it?" They searched for ways to destroy cursed objects, but every attempt, burning it, drowning it, even burying it, had one common warning. The soul-bound object will always return to its owner unless properly exorcised. Mira groaned. "Perfect. I'm stuck with a ghost perfume." That night, Mira decided to lock the bottle in a box and shove it in the closet. No more wearing it. No more testing it. Just forget it exists. But at exactly 3 a.m., she woke up gasping for breath. The room smelled heavily of the perfume, thicker, stronger than ever before. And then, she heard it. A whisper. "You cannot throw me away. You are already mine." Her closet door creaked open. The perfume bottle lay on the floor, cap off, a dark mist slowly rising from it. And in the dim moonlight, Mira saw something standing in the corner of her room, its shape shifting, flickering, a face frozen in a twisted, soulless grin. It took a step forward. The final note. Mira's breath hitched as the figure in the corner shifted, its form flickering like a broken image. The perfume's scent was overwhelming now, thick, suffocating, almost rotting beneath the floral sweetness. "You smell perfect." The voice slithered through the room, soft but jagged, like broken glass scraping against her eardrums. Mira scrambled back, eyes darting toward the perfume bottle on the floor. The dark mist coiling from it seemed alive, pulsing, writhing like it was breathing. Ria's warning echoed in her mind, "It'll always return unless properly exorcised." Screw research. She wasn't waiting for an expert. Grabbing the bottle, Mira ran to the bathroom, flicked on the light, and turned on the sink full blast. She tried to dump the perfume down the drain, but instead of liquid, something else poured out. Black, viscous tendrils snaked from the bottle, crawling up her arm, tightening around her wrist. A cold, wet sensation seeped into her skin, sending a sharp chill through her bones. The reflection in the mirror shifted. It wasn't Mira staring back anymore. It was a woman, pale, hollow-eyed, mouth stretched unnaturally wide, whispering something in French. "Il m'a prise, il te prendra aussi." Mira's shaky knowledge of French barely pieced it together. "He took me, he will take you too." Then hands shot out from the mirror, grabbing her. Mira screamed. She yanked her arm free, the tendrils snapping like brittle vines. Without thinking, she grabbed a lighter from the counter, flicked it on, and held the flame to the bottle. The second the fire touched the glass, an ear-splitting shriek filled the room. The perfume bottle cracked violently, thick smoke billowing out. The scent changed. No longer floral, no longer intoxicating, just pure, suffocating decay. The figure in the mirror writhed, its face distorting in agony. The whispers turned to wails, desperate, furious. Then, with one final, deafening shatter, the bottle exploded into black dust. The air went still. Mira stumbled back, gasping. The scent was gone, the reflection was normal, the room was silent. She didn't sleep that night. The next morning, Ria found her curled up on the couch, clutching a baseball bat. "Okay," Ria said, taking one look at Mira's disheveled state. "You look like you fought a demon last night." "That's because I did," Mira muttered. After Mira explained everything, Ria whistled. "So, you basically burned a haunted perfume back to hell?" "Not bad," Mira groaned. "I'm never buying old perfumes again." Ria grinned. "Good. Next time maybe go for, I don't know, normal ones? Like Chanel? Gucci?" Mira rolled her eyes. Yeah. Lesson learned." She stood up, stretching, feeling lighter than she had in days. The perfume was gone. The curse was over, or so she thought. That night, as she got ready for bed, Mira opened her drawer to grab a hair tie. And there, tucked between her clothes, sat a small, violet glass bottle. Waiting, the cap twisted itself open, and the scent returned. The end.